Environmental influences on offender patterns and trends. Crime patterns and trends are affected by various environmental influences. To include the four we will discuss today: weather and seasons, hurricanes and natural disasters, weekdays, holidays, and school closings, and neighborhood, family, and socioeconomics. Offender patterns can change based on opportunities presented by these environmental factors, and city agencies must be vigilant in spotting these influences and utilizing the data. The first environmental influence I will cover is weather. Numerous studies have found that weather can have an influential impact on offender patterns and crime trends. Temperatures have a substantial impact on violent crimes, especially temperatures that are above average. The rise in temperatures lead to more hostile social responses and anger, and in return, violent crimes that lead to bodily injury also rise. As we see in this graphic, the relationship between higher temps and homicides correlate to show a vast difference. Seasonality also reflects these crime trends, as warmer seasons have higher crime rates than colder seasons, as well as more pleasant days leave offenders with opportunities for crime and more contact with possible victims as people are out and about. Rain also has an impact on offender patterns and trends, as street crime substantially decline on rainy days, other than motor vehicle theft, but family violence crimes tend to rise. These trends are likely due to offenders' patterns of taking shelter during the rain, hence motor vehicle theft as a means to escape the weather. The rise of domestic violence is also likely to be caused by families being confined in their homes during the rain. Cloud cover and fog limit visibility, and studies show that offenders may take advantage of this as an opportunity to commit crimes such as robbery and other property crimes that go on the rise during these types of weather. Sexual offenders may also find an opportunity to use the lower visibility to attack their victims and avoid being seen by others. Thus, sexual crime trends also rise during cloud cover and fog. Hurricanes are common occurrences for our East Coast city, so it is only natural that we include them in this discussion. Hurricanes are environmental factors that have both positive and negative influences on offender pattern trends. According to Spencer, aggressive assaults and shootings rise by 30%, while preparations for the storm and evacuations occur, and domestic violence rises by 10% during the hurricane itself. This is especially true for storms that are predicted to cause severe damages, and warnings are given to the community. Coastal communities in our area are often put on mandatory evacuations. For the beaches, communities with only bridge access, areas known to flood, and those who reside in mobile homes. While many evacuate these areas, many also stay behind to ride it out. Offenders can take advantage of these evacuations and people staying with their families by breaking into homes that are unattended immediately preceding the storms, thus leading to higher property crime trends before the storm. Spencer mentions the rise in shootings may be a result of perpetrators coming into contact with victims during a home invasion where the offender thought no one was home. Assault trends have also shown women to be victimized at higher rates, likely due to the domestic violence occurrences, public disputes while gathering supplies, and women who remain home alone or only with their children. The rising crime patterns of domestic violence and abuse during natural disasters is likely caused by the high tensions and confinement to the home that put victims in prolonged control of their abusers during the storm. Property theft also increases while the storm comes to an end as a result of damages to the homes, like broken windows, giving easy access to criminals. This is especially true for businesses that fail to properly prepare for the hurricane, leaving their building windows and doors vulnerable without boarding them up, and can invite looters to steal their stuff. For example, pictured on the next slide are the results of Hurricane Florence on Family Dollar and Snowden Jewelers in Wilmington, North Carolina, where they were both rampaged by looters when their windows and doors were damaged by the unrelentless winds of Hurricane Florence. According to WECT, Snowden Jewelers lost at least $100,000 in property from theft on top of the damages to their buildings. On a more positive note, crimes against others, such as sexual assaults, rapes, and armed robberies, and murders, declined significantly before, during, and after hurricanes. Lastly, as the community returns to their homes in the days and weeks following the hurricane or other natural disasters, have shown that crime trends go down for all crimes. This is thought to be a survival instinct that people tend to be pro-social and come together in unity to protect and help each other after environmental incidents like this occur. Other environmental These pictures show the two businesses that were looted in Wilmington, North Carolina during the Hurricane Florence in 2018. Other environmental influences on offender patterns and trends that should be noted and included in crime mapping are the days of the week, holidays, and school closings. It is noted that all types of crimes are far more prevalent on Friday evenings and Saturdays, while Sundays crime trends show a significant decrease. Studies also show that property crimes such as burglary and other property crimes on residential homes are committed during the work week occur between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. while the occupants are away at their jobs. On the other hand, businesses are more vulnerable for burglary, robbery, and property damage after midnight through 3 a.m. when they are likely closed for the night. Surprisingly, most holidays do not show a positive or negative influence on crime patterns, but there are a few that do impact crime rates. These would include Christmas, Christmas Eve, and Thanksgiving show significant decreases in almost all crime trends, with only a slight increase in alcohol-related traffic offenses. New Year's Eve has the highest rates of crime than any other holiday, with an increase in violent crimes, property crimes, and DUIs. This can be attributed to many people being out past midnight, consuming alcohol and other substances. Women out at night and possibly intoxicated are vulnerable to victimization, and homes are left unattended, giving perpetrators more opportunity to break in. Halloween has shown a rise in violent crimes and armed robberies, likely due to trick-or-treating, costumes, being able to hide their identities, and more contact with potential victims. School breaks have shown only a slight increase in certain property crimes, such as minor trespassing, motor vehicle theft and joyriding, and shoplifting, crimes typically committed by a younger generation. Environmental influences on offender patterns and crime trends also include neighborhood, family dynamics, demographics, and socioeconomic factors of the communities. Numerous studies have shown that low-income communities have higher crime rates overall. This is especially true for violent crimes like murder, armed robberies, assaults, domestic violence, shootings, and murders, as well as drug-related crimes. Job displacement also influences property crime trends to rise, and even drug-related crimes as individuals use criminal activities to make money. Middle-class communities and wealthy communities have higher rates of property crimes, especially those that border the lower-income communities or are in their travel zones. This likely stems from the offender's access to community, residence, and more valuable items and monetary gains an offender would likely benefit from. High residential turnover is often seen in low-income communities as well. This leaves the community vulnerable to more crime since there are less connections to other members of the community. The last environmental influence on offender trends and patterns I will cover is family dynamics and how it impacts the community and crime rates. Communities that have more single-parent homes, homes with one or more parents who are incarcerated, and/or homes that lack parental enforcement of rules and discipline are vulnerable to higher crimes, especially in teens and young adults. Families with parents who are engaged in substance abuse, alcoholism, and other criminal activities often neglect or abuse their children, or their children also become addicted to those same substances or commit crimes similar to their parents. These activities often lead to higher crime rates among these younger individuals who seek out delinquent peer groups, get involved in drug sales and violence, and/or join gangs, especially in the lower income communities. Violence fosters violence. This is a well-known fact that many individuals who come from homes involved in abuse, sexual assaults, and domestic violence often become engaged in violence later on in life. This family occurrence influences future crime trends as these teens become adults and partake in other violent criminal acts of their own, or repeat the cycle of domestic violence within their own homes. Recognizing these environmental influences on offender patterns and trends are beneficial for our city in preventing crime, mapping crime, and profiling offenders. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation.